The Silent Watchers, the Galactic Council had maintained peace for 800 years. Their magnificent space station, Harmony Prime, floated serenely in the neutral zone between 5 major star systems. Inside its crystalline halls, representatives from dozens of species conducted business with the calm certainty that came from absolute control. Ambassador Krixtal of the Zephyrian hegemony adjusted his ceremonial robes as he entered the council chamber. His species had ruled the Outer Rim territories for 3 centuries, their blue-scaled bodies and 4 arms making them naturally suited for complex negotiations. Today's meeting was supposed to be routine, just another discussion about trade, routes and resource allocation. High Counselor Vex 9, leader of the Synthetic Collective, stood at the center of the chamber. The artificial being's chrome body reflected the soft lights as it processed data streams from across the galaxy. Its red optical sensors swept across the assembled delegates with mechanical precision. The quarterly reports show continued stability, Vex 9 announced in its synthesized voice. The Drakmari Commerce Guild maintains control of the inner systems. The Ethereal Union oversees spiritual and cultural affairs. The Zephyrian hegemony manages military peacekeeping operations. All functions remain within acceptable parameters. Krixtal nodded with satisfaction. The system worked because everyone understood their place. The various species had divided the galaxy cleanly, each taking responsibility for their strengths. The Drakmari, with their massive trading fleets, handled commerce. The ghostly ethereals, beings of pure energy, managed the more philosophical aspects of civilization. The Zephyrians, with their warrior culture, kept order. What of the restricted zones? Asked Counselor Threshka of the Drakmari Guild. Her tentacled form shifted nervously in its mobility chair. The outer spiral arm territories remain off-limits to general traffic. Security protocols remain in effect, Vex 9 replied. Those systems contain primitive species that require careful monitoring before contact initiation. Standard procedure dictates a minimum observation period of 500 years before formal introduction to galactic society. Ambassador Krixtal's 4 hands gestured in agreement. The hegemony's patrol fleets report no unusual activity in those sectors. The local species continue their development according to predicted patterns. What none of them mentioned was the truth about Earth and humanity. For the past century, the major powers had been quietly eliminating human exploration vessels. Every time humans sent ships beyond their local star cluster, those vessels simply vanished. The galaxy's leaders had decided that humans were too unpredictable, too violent, too chaotic to be allowed into civilized space. The official records listed humanity as a Level 3 civilization, barely capable of interplanetary travel. The reality was far different. Dr. Sarah Kim, chief xenobiologist aboard the exploration vessel UES Discovery, had been analyzing intercepted alien communications for months before her ship disappeared near the Zephyrian border. Admiral Chen Wei sat in his command center deep beneath the mountains of Earth's moon, studying the same data that Dr. Kim had died trying to transmit. The truth was worse than anyone had imagined. Humanity wasn't just being ignored by galactic civilization. They were being actively suppressed. 17 ships lost in 5 years, Chen said to his assembled staff. Every single one vanished the moment it entered what the aliens consider their space. They're not just avoiding contact with us, they're hunting us. Captain Elena Vasquez leaned forward in her chair, her dark eyes reflecting the glow of the holographic star charts. At 35, she was young for a fleet captain, but her record spoke for itself. She had commanded successful missions to every planet in the solar system and led the first manned expedition to Proxima Centauri. Sir, with respect, how do we know they're actively hunting our ships rather than just defending their territory? She asked. Admiral Chen activated a new set of displays. Because of this, the hologram showed a detailed schematic of alien technology, clearly reverse-engineered from captured human vessels. Our people have been building ships using principles we thought we discovered. Turns out some of these human innovations are actually alien technology that we were allowed to find. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had been unknowingly guided in their technological development, steered toward dead-end paths that would keep them contained in their local star system. They've been controlling our development for decades, Chen continued. Every major breakthrough in space travel, every advancement in energy production, every step forward in our expansion into space has been carefully managed. They wanted us to feel like we were progressing while ensuring we'd never become a real threat. Captain Vasquez studied the data with growing anger. What about the colonies? Mars, Europa, the asteroid mining stations? All within acceptable parameters, Chen replied bitterly. We're allowed to spread within our own solar system. But the moment we try to reach for the stars, we disappear. Commander Rex Torres, head of Earth's Marine Space Division, slammed his fist on the table. So what do we do about it? Roll over and accept that we're prisoners in our own star system? Admiral Chen smiled grimly. We've been working on that problem for 3 years. Captain Vasquez, I'm assigning you to Project Defiant. The name sent chills through the assembled officers. Project Defiant was a rumor, a whispered legend among Earth's military leadership. Some said it was humanity's attempt to build a ship that could stand against alien technology. Others claimed it was already complete, hidden somewhere in the outer system. The UES Defiant launches in 72 hours, Chen announced. Captain, you'll be taking her on humanity's first real journey to the stars. Not as explorers or diplomats, but as representatives of a species that refuses to be caged. Captain Vasquez felt her pulse quicken. What exactly is the Defiant, sir? Something the aliens won't expect, Chen replied. They've been watching us for a century, studying our technology, learning our capabilities. What they don't know is that we've been watching them too. Every ship they destroyed, every piece of technology they thought they recovered safely, has been teaching us about their weaknesses. The holographic display changed to show a massive vessel unlike anything in Earth's official fleet records. The UES Defiant was 3 kilometers long and bristled with weapon systems that combined human engineering with captured alien technology. But its most remarkable feature was something the aliens would never anticipate. The Defiant doesn't just use their technology, Admiral Chen explained. It's powered by something they've never encountered: human stubbornness. The ship's core contained a revolutionary quantum engine based on a principle that alien scientists had dismissed as impossible. Where other species built elegant, efficient systems that worked within the established laws of physics, humans had simply refused to accept those limitations. The result was a drive system that could push the Defiant to speeds that should have torn the ship apart. Our engineers spent 2 years figuring out how to make the impossible merely dangerous, Chen continued. The Defiant can outrun, outgun, and outlast anything in the alien fleets. More importantly, it can do things that their computers will tell them can't be done. Captain Vasquez nodded slowly. What's our mission objective? Simple, Admiral Chen replied. We're going to announce to the galaxy that humanity has arrived, and we're going to do it in a way that ensures they never underestimate us again. 72 hours later, Captain Vasquez stood on the bridge of the UES Defiant as it powered up its impossible engines. The ship had been built in complete secrecy in the shadow of Saturn's rings, using resources from across the solar system and the combined genius of humanity's best engineers. All stations. Report ready, Captain, announced Lieutenant Commander Sarah Park from the navigation station. Engineering shows green across all systems, added Chief Engineer Marcus Webb. The quantum core is stable and ready for transit. Captain Vasquez took a deep breath. In moments, they would make the first official human journey beyond the solar system in over a century. More than that, they would be announcing humanity's refusal to accept the limitations imposed by alien civilizations. Set course for the Zephyrian patrol station at Kepler 442, she ordered. Maximum speed. The Defiant leaped forward with an acceleration that should have killed everyone aboard. Instead, the ship's revolutionary inertial dampening system, another impossible human innovation, kept the crew comfortable as they reached speeds that alien sensors would register as physically impossible. 3 days later, the Zephyrian patrol station's sensors detected an approaching vessel moving faster than anything in their databases. Commander Thexcal studied the readings with growing confusion. According to their instruments, the approaching ship was violating several fundamental laws of physics. "Signal the unknown vessel," he ordered his communications officer. "Standard, challenge protocols." The response came back immediately, transmitted on frequencies that should have been impossible for a primitive species to access. "This is Captain Elena Vasquez of the United Earth ship Defiant. We are entering Zephyrian space under the authority of the Earth Defense Force. We come in peace, but we come prepared for war." Commander Thexcal's scales paled. Earth vessels weren't supposed to be capable of interstellar travel. According to all intelligence reports, humanity was still struggling with basic space exploration. Yet here was a ship that had just crossed 20 light-years in 3 days. "Impossible," he whispered. Then, louder, "All stations battle alert. Contact Harmony Prime immediately." The UES Defiant dropped out of hyperspace directly in front of the Zephyrian patrol station, its massive hull dwarfing the alien vessels. For a moment, both sides simply stared at each other across the void. Then Captain Vasquez opened a channel to the entire Zephyrian fleet. "This is a message to the Galactic Council and all member species. Humanity formally announces its presence in galactic civilization. We know about the missing ships. We know about the suppression protocols. We know about the conspiracy to keep us contained." Her voice carried across the communication networks, reaching Harmony Prime and every major alien civilization within minutes. "We're not here to conquer or destroy. We're here to take our place as equals in this galaxy. But understand this clearly. We will not be caged, controlled, or eliminated. Any attempt to continue the current policies toward humanity will be met with the full force of Earth's defense capabilities." As if to emphasize the point, the Defiant's weapon systems powered up. The ship's quantum torpedoes locked onto the Zephyrian patrol vessels, while its particle beam arrays tracked the station's critical systems. Commander Thexcal found himself facing a choice that would reshape galactic politics. He could order his ships to attack the human vessel and probably be destroyed in the process, or he could report back to his superiors that humanity had just announced itself to the galaxy in the most dramatic way possible. The age of Galactic. Peace was about to end, and it was ending because one species had refused to accept their assigned place in the cosmic order. The reckoning news of humanity's arrival spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Within hours of Captain Vasquez's announcement, every major civilization was holding emergency sessions. The impossible human ship had not only reached Zephyrian space, but had done so using technology that violated several supposedly universal physical laws. High Counselor Vex 9 processed the incoming data streams with mechanical precision, but even its artificial mind struggled to comprehend the implications. The humans had somehow developed faster-than-light travel that exceeded anything in Galactic Council databases. Their ship's power output registered at levels that should have required technology centuries beyond their assessed development. "This changes everything," Ambassador Crixtal said, his 4 arms gesturing frantically as he paced the council chamber. "The containment protocols have failed catastrophically. These humans have somehow advanced centuries beyond our projections." Counselor I. Threshka of the Drakmari Guild rippled with agitation. "Our intelligence networks reported them as barely capable of interplanetary travel just months ago. How could we have been so wrong?" "We weren't wrong," Vex 9 replied coldly. "Our data was accurate based on observable human activities within their solar system. The logical conclusion is that they have been deliberately concealing their true capabilities." The implications horrified the assembled delegates. Every species in the Galactic Council had accepted their current positions based on demonstrated technological and military capabilities. If humans had been hiding their true strength, what did that say about their long-term intentions? "We must assume hostile intent," declared General Vorth Prime of the Ethereal Union. The being's energy form flickered with aggressive patterns. "No peaceful species conceals its technological development to this degree." On the bridge of the UES Defiant, Captain Vasquez watched the alien communications networks light up with panicked transmissions. Dr. Sarah Kim, the xenobiologist who had joined the mission as diplomatic advisor, translated the intercepted messages with growing concern. "They're not just surprised, Captain," she reported. "They're terrified. The Galactic Council is treating our arrival as an existential threat to their civilization." Captain Vasquez nodded grimly. "Admiral Chen warned us this might happen. A species that's been hiding its capabilities for decades, suddenly announcing itself tends to make neighbors nervous." Commander Torres studied the tactical displays showing alien ship movements throughout the sector. "We're seeing massive fleet mobilizations across 3 star systems. The Zephyrians are calling up their reserve forces. The Drakmari are redirecting their trading fleets toward military formations. Even the Ethereals are manifesting their war forms." "How long until they can coordinate a response?" Vasquez asked. "Based on their communication patterns and fleet positions, I'd estimate 72 hours before they can mount a unified assault," Torres replied. "The question is whether they'll try to negotiate first or go straight to combat." Their answer came within the hour. High Counselor Vex 9's image appeared on the Defiant's main screen, its chrome features reflecting the harsh lighting of the council chamber. "Captain Vasquez of Earth, you will surrender your vessel immediately and submit to Galactic Council authority. Your species has violated numerous interstellar treaties by concealing its technological development and entering restricted space without authorization." Captain Vasquez stood calmly before the transmission pickup. "Counselor, we cannot violate treaties we were never allowed to sign. Earth was systematically excluded from galactic civilization and prevented from making contact through the deliberate destruction of our exploration vessels. We're here to correct that situation. Your previous vessels entered restricted space without proper authorization," Vex 9 replied. "Standard protocols required their interdiction." "Standard protocols," Vasquez said, her voice hardening, "required their crews to be returned safely after processing. Instead, they were killed. 17 ships, over 3,000 people, murdered to maintain your artificial peace." The transmission cut to static as Vex 9 terminated the connection. Captain Vasquez turned to her crew with a grim expression. "Well, that settles the negotiation question. All hands, prepare for combat operations." The next 48 hours saw the largest military mobilization in galactic history. The Zephyrian hegemony deployed its entire battle fleet. Over 800 vessels ranging from fast attack cruisers to massive dreadnoughts. The Drakmari Guild converted their trading ships into improvised warships, adding nearly 2,000 vessels to the Allied force. Most shocking of all, the Ethereal Union manifested over 300 war forms, energy beings capable of existing in the vacuum of space and wielding devastating psychic attacks. Admiral Chen watched the enemy build up from his command center on Luna, his face reflecting the glow of countless tactical displays. "Elena's going to face odds of roughly 1,500 to 1, he said to his staff. "Any other species would consider those hopeless odds." "Any other species," replied General Martinez, head of Earth's military intelligence, "doesn't have the advantage of being consistently underestimated for the past century." The Battle of the Crimson Nebula began when the Allied alien fleet dropped out of hyperspace in a perfect combat formation. Over 3,000 ships arranged in overlapping defensive shells, with the massive Zephyrian dreadnoughts at the center and clouds of smaller vessels providing screening and support. Captain Vasquez studied the enemy formation from the Defiant's bridge. Her single ship faced an armada that could have conquered entire star systems. By all conventional military logic, she should have surrendered immediately or attempted to flee. Instead, she smiled. "Commander Torres, initiate the Prometheus protocol." Torres grinned as he entered the authorization codes. "Prometheus protocol active, Captain. All systems showing green." The Prometheus protocol was humanity's final gift to a galaxy that had underestimated them. For 3 years, Earth scientists had studied captured alien technology and identified a critical weakness in their ship designs. Every alien vessel relied on elegant, efficient systems that worked in perfect harmony with established physical laws. Human engineers had taken a different approach. They had built systems that functioned by refusing to accept physical limitations. The UES Defiant suddenly split into 7 identical vessels, each one fully armed and powered. The quantum core's impossible energy output was being channeled through probability manipulation fields that allowed the ship to exist in multiple quantum states simultaneously. "Impossible," whispered General Vorth Prime as his sensors registered. 7 separate human ships where moments before there had been only one. Matter cannot exist in multiple quantum states at macroscopic scales. "Apparently," replied High Counselor Vex 9 coldly, "human matter doesn't accept our limitations." The 7 versions of the Defiant attacked the alien formation from different vectors, each one moving with the impossible speed of the quantum drive system. Alien sensors couldn't track them properly, because the ships were technically occupying multiple positions simultaneously. Zephyrian dreadnoughts, mighty vessels that had never been challenged in 8 centuries, found themselves under attack by weapons that simply ignored their defensive systems. Human quantum torpedoes phased through energy shields and exploded inside enemy hulls. Particle beams bent space-time to strike from impossible angles. "All ships, concentrate fire on the human vessels," ordered Fleet Commander Crix 9 of the Zephyrian fleet. "Maximum firepower, overlapping fields of fire." 3,000 alien weapons opened fire simultaneously, filling space with enough destructive energy to shatter planets. The barrage should have vaporized any known vessel instantly. Instead, the 7 versions of the Defiant simply stepped sideways through space-time, allowing the alien attacks to pass harmlessly through the positions they had occupied microseconds earlier. Captain Vasquez opened a channel to the entire alien fleet. "This is your final warning. Withdraw your forces and open negotiations or face the consequences of humanity's full military capability." "Never," replied Fleet Commander Crix 9. "The hegemony does not surrender to primitive species." "Your mistake," Vasquez said sadly. The UES Defiant revealed its final capability. The 7 quantum split versions suddenly collapsed back into a single vessel, but the energy from their quantum cores didn't dissipate. Instead, it channeled into a weapon system that Earth's scientists called the reality anchor. Space itself seemed to ripple around the Defiant as the weapon powered up. Then, with no visible discharge or dramatic effects, it fired. Every alien ship within a 50-kilometer radius simply stopped. Their engines cut out, their weapons powered down, their life support systems failed. The reality anchor had imposed human physics on the alien vessels, and their elegant, efficient systems couldn't function under the chaotic, barely controlled physical laws that human technology embraced. Over 800 vessels drifted helplessly in space, their crews alive but completely powerless. The remaining alien forces watched in horror as their most advanced warships became floating derelicts. "This is Captain Vasquez to all surviving alien forces," she announced. "Your fleets are disabled but undamaged. Your crews are safe. This demonstrates Earth's military capabilities and our restraint. We could have destroyed you all but chose not to." She paused, letting that sink in across thousands of alien minds. "Humanity offers the galaxy a choice. Accept us as equals, with full representation in galactic civilization, or continue to treat us as a threat to be eliminated. If you choose the latter, understand that what you've seen today represents only a fraction of Earth's defensive capabilities." The alien fleet began withdrawing within the hour. The Galactic Council's 800-year peace had ended not with conquest or destruction, but with the simple revelation that their controlled, orderly galaxy had been fundamentally changed by a species that refused to accept limitations. Within a month, Earth received its first official invitation to join the Galactic Council. The invitation came with an offer of full membership, equal representation, and access to all galactic trade networks and communication systems. Captain Elena Vasquez stood once again on the bridge of the UES Defiant, but now she looked out at a galaxy where human ships traveled freely between the stars. Her sacrifice of her own ship's quantum core to power the reality anchor had left the Defiant stranded far from home, but rescue fleets were already en route. "Do you think they'll really accept us as equals?" asked Dr. Kim, watching the diplomatic traffic flowing between Earth and dozens of alien civilizations. "They don't have much choice," Vasquez replied. "We've proven that humanity can't be contained, controlled, or eliminated. The only rational response is to find a way to coexist with us. She smiled as she watched human merchant vessels beginning their first trade runs to alien markets. Besides, I think they're starting to realize that having humans as allies might be more useful than having us as enemies. The galaxy had screamed in terror when Earth's battleship arrived. Now, as human creativity and determination began to reshape interstellar civilization, that terror was transforming into something the Galactic Council had never expected respect.